Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know, like a motherfucking smack at it, right? And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, yes, man, advancement demands change, right? And not only within the Norteño Collective, but within all collectives, with all group factions, within all movements, all gangs, all mobs, whatever the case may be, advancement demands change, right? Or change demands advancement. However you want to look at it in a menudo style, direct fashion. I'm going to tell you right here what this meaning means, and I'm going to give you a lot of intricacies into a lot of questions that people have been asking me, right? Kind of like a Q&A, but not a Q&A, just some of the more common questions I'm asked. I'm going to give you the rundown, so watch out. People always ask me, Gun, why did Norteños strive for a better education, right? Well, guess what? Everyone should be. It's always good to educate oneself, right? Whether it be in the art of battle, war, how to make weaponry, just to learn basic fundamentals of education, you know, math, science, social studies, history, knowing the history of your people. You know, you can't do something, homie, and not know why you're doing it, right? The only way to know is to educate one's mind. An educated mind is a way to prosper. Gives you that propensity and that fuel to prosper, man. Everyone needs some type of education, right? And not everyone's on that same level. Not everyone could grasp that reality, or not everyone could grasp that education, you know, like others do. But at the same time, man, feed your mind. If you feed your mind, you feed your body. You feed your body, you feed these, you feed these, you feed someone's face, you feed their face. So that's good. And the winner is ding, 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 ding. But it's not all about brutality and violence and things of that nature when it comes to gangbanging. It's all about that game of chess, homes. Let them play dominoes. Let them play checkers. Let them play pinochle. Sasuke, you play chess, right? Know how to manipulate those pawns. Know how to manipulate that king into making that your next move, your best move. Hey, that rook can just be a rook. You know what I mean? Go out in there like a motherfucking gang member, gangster crook. You know, do your thing. And in that fashion, that's what you're supposed to do in order to change the elements and the equations of what could happen, man, in the art of war. Okay, a lot of people say, why do Norteños read these certain books? Well, it's not only Norteños that read these books, man. The Southsiders read the same books. The white boys, the Woods, they were reading them. The Asians, the Africanos, Crips, Bloods, Kumis, Jamas. Everybody was reading the same books, right? They were preparing themselves to be a true warrior for battle. Okay, when you're in the penitentiary, when you're on those yardas, or even on the calles, man, if you dedicate yourself to a cause, if you dedicate yourself to becoming a gang member or being a part of a group organization, whether it be a frivolous organization or an organization for the prosperity of your people, you need to condition yourself for war. You know, there's a lot of peacetime, a lot of downtime, a lot of time where everyone's kind of at odds, but it's a soft defensive stance. But there are times, man, that demand the warrior come out in you. So it's always good to know oneself, know what your directives are, know what you're about, man. Know how far you're willing to go, you know, for your people. A lot of people are willing to go all the way. There's a lot of people, Sasuke, ain't willing to go to that fucking corner right there. Sasuke, hey, wait, what's over there? Fuck that. They got big snakes and oh my, I ain't going over there. You know, a lot of people are different. You know, you got to condition your mind, you know, and these books, the 48 Laws of Power, the Art of War, a lot of historical books. These books are to condition the mind for war. That's all they are, from manipulation tactics to show you how to be a better gangster. You know, they're not labeled that, but this is what they're utilized for. Now, a lot of people always ask me, they're like, hey, Gun, how did you lose the burning desire and the fire to not be a Norteño no more? Who said I did? Whoever said that I lost that burning desire? I never lost the burning desire. I just see the big picture, right? I'm not here to poison no one's mente and say it's not for everyone. It wasn't for me. You know, was I willing to hang up the boots at that point in time? Charlie, man, that was not what I was willing to do at that point in time. I started to see a little difference with yardas flipping S and Ys and all this shit was happening. But I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to leave my post. I wasn't ready to hang it up. You know, my hand was kind of forced. For anyone that knows my story, my hand was forced to back on up off the team based on There was a lot of drug usage and a lot of policies being broken, man, that were supposed to be adhered to. You know, a lot of the bonds were being utilized and manipulated to bend towards certain individuals' will. And that right there in itself was not what I was about. I was laced a different way. I was educated and indoctrinated a different way. And I was always told, man, to abide by these bonds, the formats, policies, rules, and regulations. And if I did, I couldn't go wrong. So I was scared. I'm telling you, it went all bad. You know, and then I made that next move my best move, man. I felt that if for no other reason I was forced to do red on red. It was either red on red and stand my ground as a man and handle my business, man, or go do this frivolous fucking removal that they wanted me to do, kill two birds with one stone. Yeah, I fucking get off on someone who probably didn't even deserve it in the first place, you know, with some frivolous shit. I myself am gone. I'm picking up fucking 10 to 12 more years. I probably would have killed the motherfucking individual. So I'm picking up life, and these vatos are still with the R in their arm. Nah. Now, how about I just slap the fucking taste out of your mouth, feel like I get mine as a man, do my time pushing in the oil, and it is what it is. You lost a loyal soldado, but you ganged the ugly soldier. Move over, bacon. I guess it's time for Sizzling to take over. Que no? Do your thing. Orale. Sizzle while you work. At the same time, that was the day that I became a man. You know, up until then, man, I was just a young boy. Even though I had age, and even though fucking I was aware, man, and even though I knew my surroundings, what was going on around me, I still had young man tactics. You know, I still wasn't able to lead on my own. I still was having to go by some rules and regulations and formats. I still was having to adhere to some bonds, you know, in order for me to live my daily life instead of making the decisions as a grown man and handling my business. So that day was the birthday of the gun. That was the day the gun was reborn again to be a fucking man and stand on my own 10 toes, righteously and really. And that's what I do. Now people ask me, have you always showed love to all the different group factions? Indubitably. Even when they were my enemigas, even when we were going at it, man, eye for an eye, orale, tooth for a sas tooth, I always respected them. I always respected them because I knew what motherfuckers were capable of. I knew if I went out to that yard with a big ass piece, there were several individuals that didn't like me and had me as a target with a big old piece on that yard too. And I respected that, homes. I respected their gangster shit. There were some motherfuckers I didn't even want to go next to because I already knew what they were about. You know, they'll blast first, ask questions later. And Sasuke, in most cases, motherfuckers didn't even ask no questions. Sasuke, who gave a fuck? Who got a sopa? That's the only question they were asking. So I always had that respect. I always felt that the North-South issues were frivolous. I always thought that, man, we all look the same. We all act the same. We all are the same. There might be a few little differences, man, but that's only differences in our minds. Differences that we make up to feel superior or inferior to each other. That's all that was. But me, myself, doing time down south in Nellis, for the 3 years that I did, man, I grasped reality down there. I got to see, man. So I was good when I put in Ugum, Boogum, I seen this one ironing going, okay, now, baby, okay. You know what I mean? He was feeling that same music. He was feeling that Brenton Wood. He was feeling the Midas touch, homes, when Midnight Star started. He was a little curious when Midnight Star was cracking. He wanted to play that slow jam. You know what I mean? Everybody was doing the same thing, homes. We like to crease our fucking pants up the same way. We like to button up our blue shirts the same way, homes. We like to motherfucker throw the hat on, twist it a little to the side, homes, and make sure we were macking when we were keeping it cracking. Everybody was the same, and this garnered even more respect in my eyes for the opposition, right? As far as Africanos, Asians, Pacific Islanders, Samoans, Usos, Masolis, it's always been love. It's always been love for them. I grew up in Merced, mostly predominantly Chicanos, but kind of a diverse, meaning that there were some Africanos, there were some white boys, some Woods, there was a little some Asians, a big Asian population, and of course Usos. And so me, myself, I never had no racism, no hate in my heart for none of the gente, man. It was what it was, man. If you showed me love, I showed you love. If you didn't, orale, 380 at your door. No beef, no more. You know what I mean? That's what it was. You know, you could follow the motherfucking yellow brick road. We can go hit the block one time with a Glock for our minds and make it pop. But it never went that route. You know, anything that I had, any individual basis type fucking game related things that I had with a different race or a different group faction was always a one-on-one thing for the most part. And that's what it was. Now, let me tell you guys a little story, man, that not a lot of people know. Okay? People always say, Gun, why you always wear the hat? Holmes, you never take off the hats because you're going bald. I mean, I'm older. Hair's getting a little lightweight. You know what I mean? I'm not going to deny that. But at the same time, that's not the reasoning why I wear a hat all the time. Okay? And then a lot of people say, maybe because you have a lot of tattoos on you. I got those too. But that's not the reason why I wear a hat all the time. You know, let me tell you a story about why I wear this hat all the time. So one time, me and the homeboy, man, we were in this park. It's called Farron's Park. For those of you that are from Merced, you already know what time it is. It's on the north side of Merced, right? Over by a school, a middle school called Rivera. And I was kicking back, man. I was kicking back with the homeboy. We're sitting on a bench, chilling, chilling. And last thing I remember is there was a couple hyenas right there. They came walking up. We were chopping it up with them. And I remember I was sitting up on the bench of the, up on the table, in the park. And the homeboy was this way. I'm kind of faced with my back towards the road. So I'm chopping game with the chicks. And the homeboy's popping his collar one time for his mind. And next thing you know, I woke up in the hospital a month later. Okay? And I know what the fuck happened, right? Just happy to even be waking up and not knowing when I went to sleep or anything. Well, I didn't go to sleep. I came out of a coma, right? Reasoning I came out of a coma was I got shot in the back of the head with a 45. Okay? Some Africano crip was walking by, thought I was one of the individuals that had laid him down a week prior, and without hesitation came up right point blank range and shot me in the back of the head. Of course, him and my homeboy got into a lightweight shootout. He hit my homeboy in the neck. My homeboy blew this ear off and the side of his face off, and the homeboy went to the pin for that. I myself was just waking up. Homeboy was already fucking healed and in the county jail at this time. And I was wondering, why? Who did it? Ooh, that hurts. And then everyone told me, just calm down, relax. This is what happened. It ended up being a mistaken identity. Okay? It wasn't nothing I did. So I have big scars on the back of my head from where I was shot, where they performed surgery, where they removed the bullet. Okay? The bullet did lodge itself in my skull. I guess I'm hard-headed. You know what I mean? So the motherfucker didn't kill me. I'm still here. I'm still standing, huh? Anyways, that's what happened. That's why I wear the hat all the time. Okay? There it goes. There's just a lot of questions that people ask me, Gun. And I wanted to just put some of the fucking stigma out there and just tell you guys some of the things, We'll get back to regular scheduled content mañana. I just wanted to kind of fucking answer some questions. Kind of like a Q&A, but not one. You know what I mean? In that fashion. And then a lot of people ask me to say, hey, Gun, what's your problem with these younger norteños? These youngsters? I ain't got a motherfucking problem in hell, Hums. If anything, I respect their gangster. I respect the way they're on. Motherfuckers got drums. You know what I mean? Drum sets is what I call them. You know what I mean? Or Van Halen. You know what I mean? They're out there drummed up, doing their thing. It's different from what I did in the 90s. It's different from what the 80s babies did, the Y babies, what we did, right? Of course, we're always going to be proud of our era. And I remember the gente before me, my tío and all of them in the 60s and 70s talk about, you know what I mean? Motherfucking mocosos ain't shit. And then we gravitated to being the ones, right? And now these youngsters are the ones. Do I hate on them? Charlie, man. I joke around. It's called capping, vato. It's called capping. I'm active in a function. I like to cap a little bit, right? But at the same time, if they can't take the heat, get the fuck up out the kitchen. I don't give a fuck. I'm just playing, Humps. I'm just capping. At the end, if I didn't respect you motherfuckers and didn't like you, I wouldn't even fucking play with you in the first place. Hey, who are you? You're a degenerate, Gun. Don't play with me like that. Fuck you. Straight up. How about that? I'm going to stay playing, Hums. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to stay wiggling for mines because I got 10 toes and they're Sasuke concrete. Down, Hums. At the same time, I got no disrespectful words towards any of this younger head, especially Norteños. Are you kidding me, Hums? I strived for the cause for 25 plus years. Viciously soiled in that toil. Or toiled in that soil, this Benz, huh? Toiled in that soil, Hums. Cobblestone for cobblestone. Rock for rock, block for block. Bending corners. Sanjo, Stockton, Sacra, Visa, Poros, Merced, Hums. Oakland, Frisco, all over the place. San Mateo, Hums. Wiggling. Getting nothing but love and embracement righteously from all the Norteños, Hums. All the homeboys who knew who I was, and they had love for me, and it was likewise, loved one. So to sit here and say that I have some type of hate or envy in my heart or disdain for any young Norteños, strive, homeboys, strive forever forward. Do your thing. At the same time, remember, man, it's not like it was for me back in them days. This is a whole different era, home. Vatos will clap you quicker than ever. So whatever you're going to do it in a righteous fashion, man. Move accordingly. It's much worse for you, vatos, than it was for us. We already knew where our directives were coming from. We already knew our direction, Hums. We were forever forward on the straight path. I was like, oompa, loompa, do. Tiger! We're handling our business. You guys got different factions, you know, with the state faction, the federal faction, norteños, some of them over here changing into sangres. Just a lot going on. I feel for you. I feel for you. Order to Shaka Khan. I feel for you guys. You know, at the same time, all I can say, my only advice as an original gangster and OG is strive, homie. Strive. That's the struggle. The struggle is not knowing where you're going home, but still struggling to get there, right? That's all I can say. Now, another fucking question that people ask me, man, it's a big question, and I kind of wanted to get on it. Well, people always tell me, hey, Gun, why do you got so much love for the Raza? And you don't? And you don't. That's the real question. I'll tell you why, bro. Who else is going to do it for us if we don't do it for ourselves? Who else is going to show the homeboys, the youngsters, even the old veteranos, man, that are stuck in their ways, that there's a different way for the gente, for the Raza? For many, many, many years, bro, we've had to climb our way up the ladder. So it's only to be knocked back down, to be told, Charlie Hums, go back to your country, or Charlie Hums, you know what I mean? You guys can get these jobs better. You can't get this. And some have made it. You know, I'm not saying all. You know, I got a primo that strived all the way to become a lawyer and do his thing, you know? So I'm not going to say that not everyone has the equal opportunity, because everyone does. It's our own fucking baboso ways of not going to school, not getting and grasping that education like we should. We'd rather go in there and read the 48 Laws of Power and fucking the Art of War in the pen, sitting down in the shoe for 20 fucking years, instead of going to school for 12, homeboy, and getting paid, vato, right? So I'm one of the vatos that on the first, not a people's champion, but a champion for the Raza, meaning I'm going to carry it on my back, Hums. I'm going to go out there and be the voice for the gente, saying, fuck that, Hums. We need our equality. We need our social status of equality. We need our due justice, and we need it as one gente, as Chicanos, as Raza, Mexicanos, Latinos, whatever it may be, together. Together we're striving. This is what I'm all about, you know what I mean? In that fashion, you know? And I sit here and I tell war stories, music gun, but let me see here. I don't get it. You tell all these war stories about killing people and stabbing and this and that, but then you're all about the unity of the Raza. The only way to teach the gente is to show them the harsh reality of what's going to happen in the aftermath of you doing all these things. Maybe someone will wake up and say, fuck that, that was crazy. I'm trying to go through all that, and they'll take a different way. Okay, I'm not trying to detour them from not being a gang member. I'm not trying to fucking soil the manpower. I'm not trying to poison no one. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying there's options, vato. There's options. You know what I mean? Do your thing. That's all I'm saying. If you're in for the cause, hey man, blood in, blood out. You know, you turn. Do your thing, Chewy. Get up. Handle it. You know, at the same time, just remember, man, that I myself took it upon myself, man, to champion for the people, for the Raza, to push the prosperity of us, to say, man, let's come together as one gente, man, and really get ours on. Imagine, vato. Imagine norteños and sureños in the 90s, Homes, clicked up. Now, you know, it's like this and like that and like that. And, you know what I mean? That's like Compton and Long Beach together. Now, you know you're in trouble, man. It would have been ugly for any other group faction that would have tried to test the element of that surprise, right? Of course, it was never to happen. Now, with the end of hostilities, we're getting closer, vato. We're getting closer. The Raza is wisening up, man. You know, this is all that I asked for. I was just hope to see, you know, one of the things that I hope to see in my life, I already done seen. So I'm good now. You know, I got to see vatos come together in some type of truth. At least hit them same yardas with no animosity. You know, I did tie my yardas with sureños, with Southsiders. And it was always a respectful thing, but still they had their side of the yard, we had ours. There wasn't too much talking other than a respectful buenos dias and buenas noches, and that was about it. That's about what you got. Now I'm hearing they're eating together, they're playing handball, they're playing cards together. In some cases I heard they might even be selling up eventually. It happened, you know, something I never thought I would see. Hey, I quietly as it's kept, I was tired of going to Atwater, homie, and having to worry about my motherfucking dome getting bucked off. And I know it's quite hasn't hit the streets yet, and it still goes down, man. And that's just youngsters fucking in their frivolous ways, not really being up to par, not really knowing what's up. But you're going to learn. Oh, you're going to learn today. They're going to teach you, you know. So you're going to mind someone. Everyone's going to mind someone, or everyone could go night-night. That's just the way it is. Anyways, with that being said, you know, advancement demands change. That's what this spill is about. The only way to change is to advance in your ways of thinking. not advances of people towards the promised land of the prosperity of being a gang member. Chale, bro. There's always going to be that. There's always going to be a young baboso born every day that thinks he's fucking somebody or something, you know what I mean? And he's going to get off with his head, and that's it. He's going to get set in his place, because guess what? The old school rules were thrown in that fashion. But what you have is advancement demands change, meaning, hey, go with the times, man. You know, I'm down with all the change, man. I'm down with all the strides the youngsters are making. I'm down with all the strive that the gente is making, is coming together. I just ain't down with no skinny, tight-ass, fucking weird-ass pants. I ain't never gonna be down with that. Sasuke, kill me if you want. Fuck you and your fucking tight pants. Period. I just ain't down with that. You know what I mean? Sasuke, I wasn't down with hammer pants. I wasn't down with vanilla pants. And I'm definitely not down with Thriller Manila pants. The fucking, you know. Orale, Michael. Fuck that. I'm not down with nothing you touched. And I ain't down with none of that shit. Period. Plain and simple. You know what it is. Anyways, I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. I hope that you move fast with a purpose. Remember, at the end of the day, that's called hustling. Hustle for your family. Get out there and really get it, man, because they don't have no one else, man. They depend on you. So I just can imagine you're going out there, you clap someone on some clap action shit for the cause. Now you're locked up, and guess what? Sabasuke, food stamp time. You know what I mean? That's just what it is, man. They need you. Anyways, get yours, homes. The Raza, stand up. What is that? Change demand, advancement demands change? Something like that. It's all love.